marry with their eyes, whereas women, they marry with their ears. So when it comes to communication, those of you who are wives, be careful the way you dress in the night. When my wife and I go into bed, the way she dress, her dress is trying to talk to me. And so wives, you must know that your body belongs to Jesus and your own husband. It's a sin for you to sleep with a strange woman apart from your wife. If you say I'm not in the mood, what do you mean? If you are not in the mood, he is in the mood now, give it to him. So you have about 4 billion women. You are supposed to marry one. The whole world is at your disposal. Don't make mistake. Why will you go for somebody's leftover? Don't go for leftover.
You are wondering, thinking and seeking answers. Are you single, married, or in a relationship? Do you have challenges bringing up your children in the godly way? Do you have challenges in your marriage? Then join us this very Saturday and every other Saturday at 7 p.m. on Family Matters, Peace Chapel, Facebook Live, and your family will take a good turn. Family Matters, redefining your homes.
Open church, come back for so bit when ukunu atra. Oyo ba wafo, oyo be ma wafo, aware te say. When ukunu te, ono yire na mun nti ase a aware ni nkoyi, aware ya de pa. By na de na ehu, people be aware nkoyi. God is the marriage maker. Two are better than one. People say wa aware ye there, ayasia me sanity. Ya de aware en church e fe no, Family Matters. The fi say me bro, me da we me da bia 8:30 p.m. E ba bo awo na church no etumi am wa fi adumu. Akwa do me there by 8:30 p.m. Family Matters. And now me there be. God bless you.
Sunny TV, inspiring your soul.
Yeah. We welcome you back to another exciting episode of Family Matters. My name is Constance Olekibakite, your hostess for tonight's program. And of course, we promise you nothing but the best. So we are here to discuss matters pertaining to the family, and our aim is to redefine your homes for glory. Even as we go for a quick break, we'll entreat you to please share, like, create a watch party, and invite someone to join in on Family Matters tonight, because of course before we leave this program tonight, you are going to be a blessing. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce our guest and then the topic for today. Thank you.
Amazing word.
Ebenezer! Ebenezer! The God you serve is a rewarder and a recorder. Revelation 22:12. In this world, anything can happen to somebody. Therefore, if you are standing, be careful. Don't mind your mockers. Mind your God. Make Jesus your source. Don't make decision without him. Believe in God. If you don't keep your hope alive, you can never develop your faith. Anybody who use any charm or witch doctor against you and your family, back to the sender.
Amazing word with Bishop Bright Michael Adolfo this and every Sunday at 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. on UTV. Locate Peace Chapel International at the Nyamiche Junction, Okra, opposite Motorway Mother Care. Peace Chapel International, our Father's house. Peace. Shalom.
Amazing word.
Thank you for staying tuned. Thank you. We love you so much, and we are glad and appreciate your time with us. Have you shared? Have you liked? Have you created a watch party? And are you ready for what's about to go down this evening on Family Matters? And tonight, our topic is going to be disagreements in marriage. Disagreements in marriage. And the questions we have already are very practical questions we would like to discuss. Possible things that may bring up arguments in a home or between a couple. So if you are watching and you are married, or you are yet to marry, you are aspiring to marry, do you have any questions? Are you going through something? Are you disagreeing with your partner on any issue? Feel free, and you are welcome to bring them up on board on our Facebook comment section, or to 055-459-2569055-459-256. The questions will be read out, and then our able guest will help us to answer and deliberate upon these very practical questions. So I'm honored to have, of course, our counselor in the house. He has been very consistent and he's a blessed man of God, and of course he's a visionary of Peace Chapel International, Bishop Bright Michael Adolfo. We are honored to have him once again on Family Matters. Bishop, you are welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So, and to join Bishop, we have one very lovely woman who has also been here a couple of times, sometimes as a host, sometimes as a guest. Today she's here as a guest too, and we are happy to have Mrs. Vicentia Akwa-Hagan. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so tonight we are discussing disagreements in marriage. So please, viewers, if you are watching, bring your comments and your questions so that we can deliberate on them. My first question would be, it says, in marriage, who is likely or who is supposed to give up during a misunderstanding? Is it the woman because the Bible admonishes the wife to submit, or the man because he is to love the wife? Let me begin with the lady.
Generally, I'll say the woman. But sometimes you have to look at the situation. Let's say in a case when it comes to money issue, you have a stand. The man wants to use money for something. You also feel the money should go to this direction. And when you weigh, you do a check balance. Probably what you are saying as a woman is right. What he as a man is saying is right. But you weigh and see scale of preference, which should be applicable. So in the context where the man's stand, when you check your scale of preference, the man's stand is right. As a woman, although what you are bringing up is right, sometimes the man being the head of the family, you have to give him that due respect and let his stand go.
So that peace may prevail.
Prevail, yes.
So you keep your stance.
Yes, so because sometimes in marriage, if you always want to be, I am right, it wouldn't work. The best solution is you have to compromise. So even if what you are bringing up as a woman is right, check what the man is bringing up. If it runs through your scale of preference, then allow him to go with what he is saying.
Wow. Thank you so much. Experience is speaking. Okay, Bishop, please, what would you like to say concerning this question?
All right. Good evening, Ghana, and good evening, all our live viewers around the continents and the nations of the world. For me, I want us to start this way, whether we like it or not. Disagreement is unavoidable in relationships. It's inevitable, no matter who you are. The reasons are many. One, because of our differences. We are different in terms of sex, gender, nationality, character, temperament, belief system, personality, and what have you. So that's number one. No matter how you see yourself, a day will come, your husband will disagree with you, and your wife will disagree with you because we are different. Even when you take the sex, male and female, that alone gives 80% reason why disagreement is unavoidable. And so there's a course I attended many years ago. We were told that conflict is something we can't avoid, but it is how we manage it. So like the question you just asked, you are now deep into managing disagreement. So disagreement is inevitable by the way we manage it. So now come back to your question. This is woman's point of view, saying that surely at times you might have opportunity, but then you look at the scope of a preference and see which one. I would just answer by saying, if there's a problem, I will never attack on a male or a female. I mean, when issues occur, you must be able to dive and see what is happening. And if you need to go down, it doesn't matter if you are the man. You got to go down for peace. Because the most important in marriage is a team. It's a teamwork. And either Messi scores, Ronaldo scores, Kwesi Appiah scores, Abedi Pele scores, Tony Yeboah scores.
At the end of the day,
It's Blaster or whatever team that
is playing.
that's it. So this is it. There's a word in conflict called win-win and win-lose. The win-win simply means that yes, although the problem is not with me, but for me, we want to establish win-win composition for a marriage because there's a team work. And if that is your mindset, then you can go down no matter what happens. So one ought to consider if you want to be a peacemaker, whether male or female, no attachment. Just go down. In most cases, I'm sure the woman can go down the wife, but 100% I believe that if it is possible for a man to go down for peace sake. Because we lose, it will never help. Yes, that is, well, I am the man. He need to beg me. I need to make sure that I am in charge.
He's the head.
I'm in the head. And then we begin to brag. Okay, you have won here. She has lost this battle, but don't forget that there's going to be a payday. Yeah, because looking at her demeanor and everything, surely.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was Bishop Adolfo for you answering the question on disagreement or misunderstanding. Who is supposed to come down? He's saying that it doesn't matter whether you are the man or woman. Yours is to know and come to an agreement so that one will actually come down and compromise for peace to prevail. So my second question to you would be, my husband wants small children. We already have 3 beautiful girls. He says until we get a boy, we will keep on having babies. I'm aging and tired of the whole process of childbearing and weaning. I have done all I could to convince him, but he does not agree. Now I have resorted to going in for an implant, that's family planning, without his knowledge, to prevent pregnancies. Please, counselors, help me.
Well, I don't think you can rob Peter to pay Paul, and you can also correct wrong with wrong.
Okay.
Marriage, one thing that both of you need to do is to understand each other. I'm sure in the beginning, my relationship, you need to have plan. I mean, why would a man say that until I have a boy, you must keep on getting pregnant for me? It doesn't make sense to me. That was Stone Age mentality many years ago. Because, hey, wow, if God gives you a daughter, it's a blessing. I mean, like a pastor like me, I wish everybody in our church who are looking for the fruit of the womb will have a daughter. My fasting time will be reduced. Instead of 5-6 days, I will be eating. Hey, have you created a woman being before? So those of us who are male, yes, I surely by God's grace, I have boys and I have a girl. But anytime a female was pregnant, firstborn, Lydia and Bright. That's all. I mean, that's what I did. It was Nanaya, Grace, and Gabriel. So, in other words, I don't make any decision. And chief one was Joy, right? Only Christo there was no name, and then she comes. So for me, if God had decided to give me daughters, wow, how happy I'll become. So that's the first thing that men must take note of that. We have never created a human being before, and you must never despise a woman. Now, if for a man who gave birth to you, your mom, is it a man? It's a woman.
Well. So
that's the thing. Now, for the woman, the wife to say that I want to Nicodemously go and do some, that's wrong, completely wrong, unacceptable, sacrilegious, unholy. It is bad.
But this is a case where the man is not agreeing to it.
Yes, but that is not the way to go by it.
Okay.
Now, this one, we are talking about practical disagreement. The way to resolve is not the right thing.
Okay.
As a child of God, do the right thing. Persuasion. Hello, Daddy. These are the reasons. In the name of Jesus, I beg. And if you speak, it doesn't work. Go before your knees. Master, let's go God's way. Yes, because what you are going to do, the consequences. When the man found out, hey, what if
he doesn't find out?
But why are you thinking like that? You must be able to have all these two. And even if he doesn't find out for me, how do you feel consciously? Are you okay? that you are with your man and you are doing such a thing without the man's know, that's not the best. Marriage is supposed to be governed by transparency. Genesis 2:24-25. Transparency might be the order of the day. So, hey, Nicodemus doing something like that. I want to go for something so that I won't get pregnant. No, that's not right. As I said, let's face the reality. That we have never created a human being before. Male and female alike, everybody is okay. So what the man is doing, husband is wrong. The same way, if the woman says, I want to go behind him and do something, that is also not acceptable. So the way out must be doing dialogue, compromise, and what I call minor adjustments. Let's keep on talking and pray.
Okay, thank you very much. Mrs. Apa, now as a nurse, right, I get patients coming on the same question. I get patients coming in for family planning.
Okay.
In this same scenario, with the example or the excuse that their husbands are not in agreement. So, as a guest on Family Matters, what would you think would be the best way to convince them, the women, not to?
Not to. Okay. One, with the family planning, some are hormonal and they have reactions when you go for it. So for one, as a woman, I will tell you, weigh the side effects of what you're going into. Then two, if your man says no, I still want to have children, just sit the man down, analyze things with him, ask him, how much is your take home? How much is my take home? How many kids are we having? What quality education are we giving to the kids? What future properties are we leaving for our children when we are in their life? Do that analysis with the man. If the man is cheap and he reasons up, he will see that no, what you are saying will be right. So in this context, normally when there's a problem, you should be accommodating as a woman. Don't say, the man says no, so I'm going to do it without his consent. If you go in for it without his consent and the side effects starts cropping up and you are cash trapped, you don't have money to treat that side effects. Are you now going back to the man to tell him, I did this without your consent? So for the
and
best,
may even end up breaking up the marriage.
So the best is just sit down, be accommodating, collaborate, be transparent, be open. Then you move on. If he says no, please listen. Probably you can tell the person, look at my age. If I go in further, for instance, I'm getting to 40, I have 3 kids. You say, I still want a 4th child. Age 40, when I gave birth to my 3rd child, I was around 37. Among all the 3 children, the last one, it was very different. So getting to 40,
complications,
telling me I should still go in for another child. Do you want me or you want me the other way? Yes. So you have to dialogue. If he still says no, just pray to God or involve counselors.
Yeah. As Bishop said, thank you so much. Okay, so a viewer sent a question, says, please, I need your help and advice. I have been dating a particular guy for 2 to 3 years, 2 years and 3 months now. The 2 years was great and all, with few couple disagreements and all. But this last 2 years has been hell. I feel he is bossy and authoritative. He always says things like, serve me with your all and obey me in all things. Leave me to love you. Please maintain the 100% submission and honor, and leave me to maintain the 100% affection and care.
The man who has not married you?
Yes. I need you to decide in your heart that you will follow and obey and serve and trust me blindly, always, and in all things. And you will do it without negative vibes. Hey. This rules there. Okay, let me continue. It's a long message. It continues to say, and I am this lady who likes to be independent. I have always been independent for almost half of my life. And here's a guy who wants to control me and never wants me to air my opinion or feelings. And it is not that he's reciprocating the love. I rarely ask him to do something, but I made a request today and he immediately declined it. But he claims he loves and cherishes and cares for me. So I'm not really sure if he really is a manipulative, selfish, bossy and authoritative guy, or I am just overthinking. Mafia. Wow.
This one they say already the man is not somebody that she can marry him completely. I mean, as a young girl, why will you go in for all these ordinances? No,
Not this load.
it's too much. I mean, hey, if I've not married somebody, he doesn't have power over you. No way. If that man has given you all this before you say I do, avoid him completely. Don't waste your time on him. It's completely out of equation. Master, he has not married you and this is how he wants you to behave. What if when he marries you, then you can't do anything? This one, he doesn't need prayer.
Yeah.
These are the red flags. You should just cut him off and pray to God.
Wow.
The rest will be history. Yeah.
So cut him off and pray to God.
Yeah.
Michael Sasu says, great work. Thank you so much for watching. We are talking about disagreements in marriage. Have you had any issues so far and you would like our counselor and our guests to help you deliberate or settle them in your marriage or in your relationship? Do well to bring them in. Do you have any experiences you would like to share? They are welcome. Okay, so another question I have here is, all of a sudden, my husband, whom I know to be a businessman, wants to go into the military. I disagree with his decision because it is quite risky and I can't afford to take that risk. Please, how do I convince him not to toe that lane?
Already is married man.
Yes, married man.
And you want to go and join Ghana forces.
Military.
Yeah, but that's it. It's a good work. They are respected. They have a whole lot of good salaries. So that one is not bad.
No, but the stress the man will go through.
For the 6 months.
Yes.
The training.
After the training, yes. After leaving your family, and then you can be called to go for peacekeeping at
Yeah. Sure. So you need to count the cost. Yeah. So this one, both of them need to sit down and then do dialogue. You see, marriage can stand if proper communication is utilized. Yeah. So if this is what we want to do, she must be able to take time and probably explain thoroughly to the wife and receive the consent from her before he can embark that. And if the wife has any reservation, nothing stops her to bring it out point by point. Yeah, so that I don't want they both of them agree, because as I said, it's a teamwork. Win lose is not acceptable. It must be win-win. So most cases in marriage relationship, the challenge is that I'm sure by these questions we are also even seeing why we have disagreement in marriages, because at times the way other people take sides, I want to do this. No, this is what I want to do. What do you think?
Okay.
That must be the way.
So ideally, the man has to propose what he wants to do.
That's right. What do you think? Is it okay if you say no? Give me the reasons, and then the man must be able to be a way of convincing her, so that both of them know that this is what they're going to do. Because anytime a man is taking a decision without the woman consent, likely it will go and hit a wall and comes back. Because two are better than one. And God has made our wives like police women in our destinies. And they are lioness. They see more than what we see. You see, the way women are, how God created you, this wife is pregnant, feeding a baby, cooking, receiving calls, and sweeping the same time. 6 in 1. Give the children, give the children to the man in the house, watching TV, taking, you can't do it. So the way God created women, it is good for you to seek their consent. So for you to say, I want to do this, no, seek the consent. So let's sit down and talk. If you can do proper communication, we can minimize escalating of conflict in our relationship.
Okay, proper communication is the key. Mrs. Aqua, do you have anything to add?
As Daddy said, proper communication is the key, because with the army, it comes with a whole lot of in and outs. For instance, when you come into my situation like this, my husband is a police officer. Sometimes you sleep and it's 1 a.m. he has to wake up and go for duty. So you even have to wake up, open the door and close for security reasons. So you, as a woman, you have to be ready. So listen to him. Why does he want to go to that? What? Yes. Let's say he's going for an officer. When it comes to the army, when you go to the junior rank, that is when you have more tax. But if you should rise on the rank, although the duties are hectic, if you should go on a higher rank, it's a little bit down. So as a man, explain to your wife, I want to go into the army due to this reason, And as a woman, if you feel what he's saying will be beneficial to you, just accept it and pray to God that he should always guide and protect him. That is the best way, because recently, for my husband, I had a dream about him. There's a new operation they've sent him to. After the armed robbery issue with the guy that was shot, so they have formed another operation team at headquarters. So he's part of that team. So I had a dream. I was like just sleeping and I had a dream. And then I called him immediately. I just prayed and I called him and I told him, Pa, this is what I just saw. So just be careful. So immediately he told his friends that this is what my wife says. So let's be careful on our trip. You see. So as a woman, if what the husband is saying, I want to go to the army, you weigh the situation and you feel it's okay, just back him and pray. God will protect him, nothing will happen.
Wow. Just back him and pray. God will protect him. Okay, thank you very much. So okay, it says that I have noticed that a particular friend of my spouse has negative influence on her, and I have tried to communicate that to my spouse, but all to no avail. We always disagree on that. She thinks I just dislike her friend. She spends most of her time with her. What do I do?
So there's a man asking a question.
Yes.
Well, your wife is like having a friend that you don't like the way.
Yeah, he feels that the friend has negative influence on the wife.
I mean, if this is your wife, there's nothing wrong calling her, hello, my darling, how beautiful you are. In fact, I've now regretted getting married to you. The kind of food you cook and the way you dress, so you begin with this kind of recommendation.
So the
approach. And then you say, well, having said all that about you, your presence in my life has added color and beauty. But I have something to say. So the approach is the thing. In most of the time, disagreement instead of escalates because of the approach. So if you begin to say all these nice words to her, and then you say, well, you know what, I don't have anything bad against you going for a friend, but this one, something in me, like I'm uncomfortable. Can you do something about it? That's very important. And if that woman, the wife, is a wise woman, she need to have a thought about such thing. Unfortunately, in marriage, at times people think that it's okay. It's my friend, not your friend. And that's sad. And when it comes to relationship, husband and wife, the Bible says, wives, submit yourself. Ephesians 5:22. This is where submission is needed. Submission simply means that you have power to do everything, but you have submitted your power under a man. That is submission. So in this regard, if the man advises you and you say, well, I've heard you, but I'm going to do what I want to do, it simply means that you are not a good person, you're not a good wife. You don't have respect at all. And if you do such a thing, then you are causing for trouble. So the man must be able to gather courage, but use good approach to talk to the wife. And I'm sure by so doing, you can help the marriage, because again, it's a teamwork. If one part lose, it affects all of them. So you must never be lackadaisical or passive when we see that things are not right. In marriage, everything that concerns the man concerns you. So don't keep quiet. Just that approach him or approach her very well. The approach is the problem. Most people don't know how to approach things. The way they talk, that's sad and it's unfortunate. So most cases, disagreement comes in relationship because of approach, the way people talk. Now, what's your target? Where they going? How much did you buy this thing? Yeah, they chow.
Just like that.
Just like that.
And you dump in the spirit of the person.
So the approach and communication is a skill one ought to learn. Unfortunately, there are illiterate people, and yet although they are graduates when it comes to studies, but they are illiterate in a relationship. Schools are what is wrong with your head?
Okay. So if you realize that most often your partner and yourself usually disagree on a lot of things, is that a problem or is this normal?
It's a problem.
Problem.
Okay.
What do you have to say about
It's a problem. That means you are not a team player. You are not
a team
player. Because if I say this, you say this. Meanwhile, marriage is supposed to be team playing. So if I say A, you say B. How do you want us to agree?
Aren't we supposed to have divergent views?
There should be, but it shouldn't be every day. You understand?
On every subject.
Yes. If that is from day one of marriage, let's say you marry 9 years down the lane, and your whole 9 years, they are always disagreeing. No. It's not the best. In marriage, you should be a team player. You should be open. You should be transparent. You should be accommodating. You should be considerate.
Okay.
So you should dialogue. There should be always communication. The main key to every marriage is communication. If you really communicate, and there are so many skills of communication. So if you really understand the language of communication between both of you, the arguments may come, but let's say I am that aggressive type, or my husband is that aggressive type. One has to come down. If you see the man, it's voicing out, he's the type that has a deeper tonation. When he talks, even on a louder note, it looks like an insult. You, the woman, will have to compromise to that and know that when he's saying something, you shouldn't also come in that aggressive way. You should come in on the sober notes, explain to him. If the woman is the opposite side, come in on that sober note and explain to him. So if you want to have peace, there will be arguments, there will be disagreements, but the language of communication should always flow, and there should be openness and teamwork. And
so with all these things you've mentioned, is it learned or you just have to acquire the moment you get married?
Sometimes it's learned, sometimes too naturally, as you are growing on your marriage ladder. You don't go in to marriage hoping to come out.
Okay.
You are in forever. On your vows day, what you said, for better, for worse, to death do us part. So if I have come in as a helper. What can I do to help you?
Okay.
So if you don't know, there are skills you can learn. You can get closer to somebody who that's good, or you can get closer to your counselors. This is the problem I have. How do I manage it? So it's two ways. Either you adapt it yourself, you take from experience or examples of people that have got good marriages. For instance, in my case like this, my parents have married way down 40 years down the lane.
Wow.
And when I was with them, I studied how they were going. My daddy is that cool type. When my mommy is angry, even if my dad is right, my dad will not talk. My mommy will blush. Later, they'll come. This is what you did. I didn't like it. So way down, it was a good example to me. So I was learning kept on learning. Then as we go in technology, you have to be learning. If I have this problem in my marriage, if I don't get chance to get to my counselors, what is the possible way for me to solve my problem? Not to send it out for the world to know this is what is happening
in the marriage.
Yes. So either you learn, watch the examples of people, or your mentor. For instance, I have daddy and mommy as my mentor. I don't get closer to them, but when daddy says something, I look at mommy's action, the way she carry herself. I'm not close to them, but I learn from a distance. Yes. So
wow, thank you very much. That's very insightful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, Bishop, as a counselor, of course, I know that many a times people come to you with a lot of questions or issues. So I'm sure one of the things you've heard will be that whatever I say, he doesn't take it. So if you have a partner who doesn't listen to you no matter what do you do?
Well, it's not going to be easy. Yes, not at all, but you don't have a choice. Today, somebody called me. Oh boy, my husband is worrying me. And I told him, I need divorce. And the man said, okay, I'm going to do it. Now, the woman said, well, I didn't mean it to. No, Bishop, I want you to talk. If not, I'll kill myself. If you want to kill yourself, why are you telling me? Kill yourself now. Yeah, so here you are, you've married to a man, he doesn't listen. I don't know how women get attracted to men. Because right from the onset, if your premises is wrong, your conclusion will be wrong. Some of these traits ought to be identified before you say, I do. Why am I not going to marry such a man? Because a man who don't want to listen to a woman, he doesn't need to be married to you. So either you ignore probably in the name of love, or somebody will say, well, if I marry him, he will stop. Okay? For me, it's a cross she need to carry, especially if all those red flags were given to her and she ignored. There's no easy way. You got to be there and pray to God. That peradventure God will touch the heart of such a person. It's going to be extremely difficult because such men, they are bossy and authoritative. The way they will speak to you, and you know, women, what you hear make sense to you. She will kill you. This man, he will kill you with the mouth. So you better be accommodative, and then someone shall baby say, what are you going to do?
And then you see him entering into fire and you just leave him.
No. I would never say don't talk. Just that you know, I'm sure the context of Mikasa Unti is not largely if there's danger only. But like, oh, daddy, you want to go and buy this car. This car that we have, it's not old. Can you this one? Oh, get away. Is it your money? Those things, those that we hear. Or I want to do, probably, I want to go to this funeral. Oh, daddy, do you know her? Oh, shut up. Those are the things. But you keep talking, you will never stop. Because if you stop, I'm trying to say if you stop, it's going to be damaging. But then, don't also think that when you speak and doesn't listen, you are a loser, you are not. The truth is that every wife must know that God allows you to marry the man because the man have deficiency in character and you are called to help him.
Okay. Can you take that again?
Yeah, you know, Genesis 2:18 says that I will give, it is not good for a man to be alone, I will give him as a partner. So I'm saying the reason why you married that man is that the man have deficiency of character. You are called to help him. And this is something that every wife must know. That my husband that I'm married to is not by chance. God placed me around him to help him, to mold him, to save him. That's your duty. And so when you go and you see such a deficiency in character, don't back off. And don't think you have lost. No, keep on. Pray and talk. But for me, my emphasis is the approach. Don't try to run the man down. You see, you have not said it, but you already brought judgment, you know. So, but approach him very well, not theatrical manner, but apologetically with respect, and keep praying. Nobody knows one day he will change, but it's not going to be easy. Keep speaking and allow the man to be man. Yeah, there's no easy way at all, not at all. And women, every woman don't like that one. Cry that my husband. Anytime I talk to, because women, by reason of my understanding, women, they want to feel importance, significance, and their security lies on when they speak to you and you listen. They feel important. They feel that, well, me too, when I speak, the man listens. So it becomes like a blow to a wife that when she speaks, the man says no to it. But keep on speaking, approach him well, and pray. But there's no way out. And to the young girls who have not married, at times, God gives you opportunity to identify people like this, but in the name of I love you, I'm AJ, I don't have time. Oh, before you realize, here you are. So when those red flags are given to you, take notice of it, and if possible, back or before you say I do.
That's Bishop Adolfo for you, and he's advising the singles as well that we should be cautious, even as you fall in love and you are trying, to get married. Be very careful. All right, so we've been talking about disagreements in marriage, and we've had a lot of examples actually. So if you've not brought in your question yet, what are you waiting for? If you have any disagreements or issues you'd like to settle, bring them on board. Peace Chapel is always open, and our counselors are here to help you. Okay, so another thing that has been bugging quite a number of women is the point where you can tell between submission and suppression in marriage. What can you say about that pertaining to disagreements? Because it's in accordance with the first question I asked, where some men think that as a woman they're supposed to submit no matter what the man says. So at what point will I know as a woman that I'm submitting accordingly, or I'm being suppressed as a woman?
Well, sometimes it depends on the issue. It's on the ball. So if the issue is such that it comes to in-law, let's say right in front of the presence of in-laws, there's a problem. As in wedded couples, new wedded couples, you're having problem with issues of childbearing. Then there's that huge back and front with the issue, and you're in the presence of your in-laws. You have a stand on the issue that is there. As a woman, do I just brush them off and take my decision, or I should be submissive to my husband? So sometimes, depending on the issue, if what it is, let's say with the issue of childbearing, the man is a problem, you the woman, you're okay. And your in-laws are coming in with, when are you giving me a child? When are you giving me a child? And your husband wants to give out the problem, but you feel no.
Okay, it should remain
between both of you.
Okay.
And he says no. Let me tell them so that they stop bothering us. In such a situation, I feel as a woman, you should be submissive to him.
And
you should, yes, just agree, so that if that will solve the problem of in-laws, stop worrying you. So it depends on the situation, whether I should be submissive to my husband.
Okay.
But where the problem is such that there have to be an intermediate, you have to discuss, and you feel no, what he's saying is not right, what I'm saying is right, the communication should flow, then you take your head.
Okay. Thank you very much. Bishop?
Well, it's not going to be easy. Like, the question was that at what point that you realize that as a wife, it's no
longer submission,
but
being
suppressed, because the man, I'm sure, and when he says submission, it doesn't mean that a woman, I don't have anything to offer. I define submission by saying, I have power, but I give my power to you so that you be in charge. That doesn't mean I don't have power. So for me, if you want to go details, Ephesians 5:21 before 22, you talk about mutual submission, meaning I, as a husband, must be able to listen to my wife as well. So if every day, as you just said, it's no more submission but suppressing, it must be all the time what I say. I don't think that is good. In my relationship, the woman too has a voice. As a matter of fact, in the sight of God, we are one people. And so husbands, those of you who are male, like myself, let's allow our wives also to be, in a way. At times, as I said, this is a teamwork. And if it is a win-lose, not at all. There's something we call capital punishment. And if all the time you suppress your wife, it's going to pay you back. using what I call capital punishment. And I do want to special tries. And I want to obey man in new baby. So for me, at what point, anytime, whatever you say, the man doesn't listen to you at all. It might be what he says at all times. That is not submission. It's slavery. It's slavery. And that is not acceptable in every Christian home. Why should the man say everything and all the time he says, it might be what he says? What about me? I mean, you need to listen to your wife. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the last time I checked, Genesis 21, God spoke to Abraham, listen to your wife. And he did. And there was peace. So most cases, disagreement escalates because most men, we are not listeners. We want to have our way out all the time. And that's not a man. A man is supposed to say, well, if I've said this, let's go by what you say. So the difference between submission and suppression is submission simply means that what he too listen to me. Though I have power, but he too listen to me. But suppression simply means that you don't have a voice in the relationship at all. We just want to do this. That's it. That's all. Keep quiet. I'm a man. And that is what I call the stone age marriage. It's not it's the best at all. And especially as a Christian partner, don't do that. It's evil.
It's evil.
It's evil. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So my partner wants to bring in his stepchildren into our home, and I disagree. But my hands are tied as a woman. Please help me.
What? Oh, a man, there's more problem. Well, how old are these step kids? That's the first thing. If they are too young, it's better for them to come aboard. It will help you as a wife to help them, train them along with your children. But if they are old, then that's why the problem comes. And then again, the question is, did you know this man has kids before you marry him? Because in most cases, by my experience, I've seen that most women are selfish. In the beginning, when they see that even if you have lost your wife and you have kids, oh, I will love them, I'll treat them. And they will begin showing their love. Oh, Azangwa. Because by my and I'm really disappointed on some wives that I know. Because in the beginning, before marriage, I heard what they said. And today, it's very unfortunate. So if you know this man has kids, and today you are saying, no, I don't allow him to come, then who are you? You are Jezebel. Straightforward. And you don't have that thing. But again, before Shepherd will come in, when we marry, the two shall be one. And you know, Ruth chapter 1 says, 16:18, your people shall be my people. Mark 10:9, the two shall be one. So your husband's children are your children. Especially if you know before you enter into it. So I know easy. But more good, but more problem. It's easier for a man to accommodate easy. But if you take 100 men and 100 wives, unyama 20. Hey, if you told me that I want bank coming, you can do it.
Because it's not easy.
It's not easy. But that's what I'm saying. Thank God I didn't have that one. But it's not easy. But that's what I'm saying. Do you know before? If you did, and today you say, and you are Jezebel. I wouldn't hear one kabede. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. It's been interesting so far. Disagreements in marriage by from Family Matters, of course, and our counselors have been Bishop and Mrs. Essential Aqua Hagan. And the questions have been very practical so far. I want to know, on the side in marriage, if when it comes to naming a child, when there's a disagreement in the name given to the child, who is supposed to have the upper hand?
This one is straightforward. I don't know impeachable. The man, this is Bible. This one, no debate.
It's an issue.
That is sometimes.
What is sometimes?
It's an issue in a
you worried to hear when we preach that? Listen, this one.
The man has upper hand.
No, the man has upper hand. Let's go to the Bible way. In Christian home, the man gives the name, period. There's no upper hand. It is a man that gives name. And I gave you the scriptures. Genesis, as a matter of fact, the woman called Eve, who gave her the name?
It was the man.
Number 2, all the things God created, apart from Adam, who gave the names?
Adam.
Wonderful. When Zachariah and Elizabeth married, although the man was sick, who gave the name? Okay, in the Bible we discover that Rachel gave the name to her daughter, her son, that Jacob changed, because the name that was pain. In the Bible, anywhere mothers, wives give names, it turned out to be dangerous and damaging. The men need to come and change. So I'm not talking because I'm a man. I'm talking about Bible, and I'm not here because I'm a man.
Bishop, I understand, but all these
What is
examples
that?
you're giving, I don't know in the Old Testament.
The New Testament, the one I said, Zechariah. Okay,
But these are very.
but if you say
issues.
Old Testament, then what is the Bible? But the Bible is God's word.
Yes.
There's nothing like Old Testament. If not, then don't let's read Genesis up to Malachi. But I gave you Luke chapter 1 when John was born. Who gave the name?
The father, Zechariah. Fair enough, Bishop. This is a practical question.
Yes, and I'm giving you Bible practical answers. We're going to be preaching, Jay.
And it's because the name the man was bringing, the woman is not in agreement with it for their child. So in this situation, we've heard that the Bible says yes, of course, the man should give. Should the woman condone to it? Well, she knows that the name doesn't befit the child.
What do you mean by that? What kind of name?
Maybe the meaning or what it carries is not what she wants.
But I want to assure you that somebody is called Jesus, but the man is drunkard. He's a drunkard, yeah. I mean, plenty. And so be a few coffee, so what are you talking about? Well, I'm not saying men should be absolute, that they will never pay heed to. Maybe that they deal with it, but I'm saying, me Bible has said I'm kind. If it is bad, I said in the beginning, how can a man say, I won't listen? But this is Bible. In the Bible, 2 occasions, mothers gave name. The men need to change it because of the consequences. So for me, it will be good for wives to understand over how they young girl.
So, Daddy, with this one, there is no compromise that you have to sit down and discuss the name.
Well, I don't think it is a problem. I mean, husband and wife, we are one people. But I want you to know that
when it comes to name,
the name of
the woman,
mommy and go, okay, listen. Why is it that when it comes to what they call top money, that one day you say it's men's job? Debbie, I'm asking you.
They say that it's nicer.
That one is nicer. I'll say that here. You see, so the same way, if it is nice for me to give the top money, let me do my Bible way of doing names. So, but there's no problem. I think, as I said, I'm sure chief or something, some names. But the woman will just come to you, and it's a done deal.
Wow.
Sure. So how do you this one they must never bring source of disagreement. And you say
Bishop, you are saying it because you are not there. In some marriages, it's actually an issue.
Well,
Mrs. Akwa,
yeah, if it's an issue, it simply means that the woman over here, you are not going by God's way. Because yes, I don't do submission. This one is purely disobedient. Only Jezebel women, Jezebel wives will challenge their husbands. I don't do over to way. Why will you challenge me?
Wow.
Yes, because again, even anyone that name that they give to a man or your child, pray, and God will do anything. So, I heard them young call. Send your chop on you know. Young for the mama and Balani.
Okay. Mrs. Akwa, you wanted to say something initially.
Normally, when it comes to the setup, it's the men that are supposed to give the name. But sometimes, as a woman, you cherish your name so much that you have a particular name that you cherish. Maybe you went through a scenario and you feel I should add this name. So for me, what I'll do is the man that has the goal, but I will just plead, let me add this name.
Hey, I think I cry. Because Well, anyway, as I said, we are, you see, marriage, we are like partners, we are friends. So I'm today, 21st century, then the money went. Near my papa in a moseno. Now, oh, Masa, moseno. I know some wives who, hey, daddy, this one there is for me. As a matter of one lady in our church, I guess they have 4. And I went to visit them. The man says, Daddy, this one there, I want to name her after my wife. I said, wow. That's interesting. So today, thank God, some men will say, well, this one, they give the name. But me, I said, this is not contention. Ideally, let the man take. But as you just said, if you are too good and well, that the way they want to add this one, there's no. But let's not don't content on that one. Okay. Unless, of course, we change to build a house, to buy the land, to pay school fees, and give job money.
Okay, so if the woman can do that, she can go.
You can.
Bishop,
yes, I'm pulling your leg. That's not your duty.
Okay. Someone is asking that, please, Daddy, can you also add a name?
Hey, more.
For that we can add.
I don't think it's a problem. If you want to add a name, there's no problem. I just want to know this is man's duty. As I said, as some husband, this is my duty. The same way some wives, you also help in when it comes to money. The same way a man can say, well, this one, if you can give it, why not? So you can add, until easy, you can add. Why? Add. There's no problem.
Of course. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. We'd like to draw the curtains here, but we'll take your final words from our counselor and guest. So I'll begin with the lady, Mrs. Vicentia Akwa Hagan. What would you like to say on disagreements in marriage?
Disagreements are bound to happen in every setup. Since we are all from different backgrounds, we are wired differently, we school differently. So we'll always have the disagreements. But when it comes, see it that you are in a team, that you are playing together. Be open, be transparent, be accommodating, be considerable. In certain situations, just compromise. Ask yourself, if what I'm doing to this person is being done to me, how would I feel? I'm a woman. My son has gone to marry a lady. He's brought in the lady. I'm maltreating the lady. If my daughter goes to marry and that same thing is done to the lady, how would you feel? So as couples, for us to manage our disagreements, the language of communication should always flow. We should be open, we should be transparent, you should be forgiving, you should be accommodating. We are helpers to our husband. So as a woman, you should be submissive, you should be a helper to your husband. As a man, you should love your wife, you should respect your wife as well. And to our young ladies up there who are yet to marry, please, don't just jump into conclusion. Because this man is having this, he has this, I want to marry him. Go in, study the man as a whole. Ask yourself, if this is a business and I'm running this business, am I going to make a profit or am I going to make a loss? So if you're in a relationship as a young person and you're seeing red flag, the man is that person who says yes, don't say no, just agree to it. If you see so many things, he's somebody that abuses women. There are so many red flags you are seeing. Please, don't say when I marry, he will change. Just opt out. That's the little that I have to say.
Thank you very much. Bishop.
Well, I'm sure marriage is good from God's perspective. But we are married to human beings who have flaws. But for you to marry, for your marriage to be very good so that you can marry and end well, some understandings ought to be considered. That is number one. Disagreement is unavoidable, but when it appears or when it comes, the approach. For me, that's the thing. And there are some words you must never use. I will show you. You say that today, I will divorce you. Those are bombs. And if you use those words when you are angry, you are heading for trouble. So even in the disagreement, be careful how you manage yourself, especially the words you use. And at times women, you begin to run the man down. We are listening. And it's not the best. And I tell you, men can be wicked. So you got to be careful if you deal with a man. And he says he loves you. Yes. But be careful the way you handle him. I'm telling you the truth. Because things that go through our mind, you know, it's a serious thing. And I'm not saying this to run a woman down. Not at all. But the way at times when the disagreement, okay, the way some women talk. Today, as I said, you know, Daddy, if you don't come, I'm going to kill myself. Now you want to kill yourself. Because there's a problem. The way some women attack their men with words. And yet, and at times, people in church cry the way they use words. So I want to say that in disagreement, you have to be careful about the words you use. Because the truth is, this is a place of no return. And then it's just misunderstanding. But the way you approach it as if you are going to live, you are not going to live. Oh. So how are you going to live the rest of our marriage if these words has come from your mouth? So in disagreement, in your anger, be careful. We are told from Ephesians 4 that in our anger we shouldn't sin. So that will be my take, that be careful what you do when you disagree. But anytime you want to have a peaceful marriage, I want you to apply the win-win than the win-lose. Meaning, it's not like all the time it will be you, it will be us. It's a teamwork. So let's begin to work tirelessly on our communication and also our transparency. Marriage is good, but if you want to enjoy, it depends on Christ and the word of God. Take the word, use it, and practice. Submission is important, but men must never suppress their wives. Allow your wife to talk. Let us talk. And there's nowhere in the Bible that says that in disagreement, women should keep silent. Men too can also keep silent for the sake of peace. When we win together.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, the experienced ones in marriage have spoken. And marriage is a teamwork, and communication is key. With Christ and with God in the boat, surely as a couple you smile at the storm. Now our work as Family Matters production team has come to an end for tonight, and we are glad that, of course, disagreements in marriage has been dealt with appropriately. We are happy to have you. Thank you so much for staying. My name is Constance Oleki-Bakite, and I've been your hostess for today's program.
Open church, come back for so between ukunu atena. Oyo ba wafo, oyo be ma wafo, aware te sen. Woni ukote, ono yire na muni ntiase a aware ni nkoyi, aware ya de pa. Ba na de na ehu, people be aware nkoyi. God is the marriage maker. Two are better than one. People say wa aware ye there, ayasia me sanity. Ya de aware church friend no Family Matters. If you say no bro, me da we me da bia 8:30 p.m. E ba bo awo na church no etumi am wa fi adumu akwa do me there by 8:30 p.m. Family Matters. And now me da bia. God bless you.
Sunny TV, inspiring your soul.
Amazing web.
Ebenezer! Ebenezer! The God you serve is a rewarder and a recorder. Revelation 22:12. In this world, anything can happen to somebody. Therefore, if you are standing, be careful. Don't mind your mockers. Mind your God. Make Jesus your source. Don't make decision without him. Believe in God. If you don't keep your hope alive, you can never develop your faith. Anybody who use any charm or witch doctor against you and your family, back to the sender.
Amazing Word with Bishop Bright Michael Adolfo this and every Sunday at 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. on UTV. Locate Peace Chapel International at the Nyamiche Junction, Accra, opposite Motorway Mother Care. Peace Chapel International, our Father's house. Peace. Shalom.
Amazing web.